Welcome back to another episode of Simple Chat. I am your host, Janine Cassio, CEO and founder of Simple Lending Financial. And today we have an extremely special guest with us, Bob Knakal. I'm sure anyone in New York real estate knows exactly who you are, but maybe introduce yourself to anyone that might not know who Bob is.
Sure. Well, Janine, first of all, it's a pleasure to be with you today. Appreciate your agreeing to do this on the weekend. A little bit more sane on the weekend, so I have time to do these. But I'm Bob Knakal. I'm the chairman and CEO of BKREA. I've been an investment sales commercial real estate broker in New York City for now in my 41st year. Started in 1984, and I sell buildings for people. I have a very narrow practice. I only sell buildings, only work for sellers, only work on exclusive listings, only sell properties in New York. And it's been the same formula for all 41 of these years. And I totally love the business. Love being a salesman, love being a real estate broker, and started a new company back in April of last year. And for 26 years, I had my own company, Massey Knakal, which we sold to Cushman & Wakefield in 2014, and back to my entrepreneurial roots and back to having a lot of fun again. So a pleasure to be with you and your viewers today.
Love it. Yes, we're so happy to have you. Being an entrepreneur, like I'm a new one, my company is about 2.5 years old. What would you say is maybe your ways of navigating the major challenges that come along? Like what has been, a tip for you of navigating any challenges an entrepreneur might just go through?
Right. Well, I think that this is something that's endemic in the real estate brokerage field, and I'm sure it's very similar in a lot of different sales businesses. But I always say there are three characteristics I see in people who are the top salespeople in real estate. Number one, they're an expert at something. They know a very narrow niche of the market, but they know it better than anybody. They can articulate what's happening in that particular niche with statistics rather than adjectives. They really know it. Number two, very passionate about what they do. They have to love it. Real estate and most businesses are very cyclical. No matter how good you are, you're going to have tough times. So if you love what you do, you'll get through those tough times to make it back to, to be around for when the times get better again. And then thirdly, it's those who can use discipline well. And I say use discipline as opposed to have discipline. We all have discipline. We just each choose to use it to a different extent than other people might. And so I think, to what keeps you going, what makes, drives the spirit in you, I think I will revert to what is known as the Stonecutter's Creed. Stonecutter's Creed is stonecutter comes into to the shop in the morning, sits in front of a big block of stone and whacks it with a mallet and whacks it 99 times and nothing has happened. Just like in our businesses, we have to do very basic fundamental things that are not glamorous and have to do them over and over and over and keep pounding the rock. You don't think you're making any progress. You don't see any results. But then the stonecutter takes that mallet on the 100th blow, that rock splits in half and it's success. And to the casual observer, they say, oh, that 100th one, that was different somehow. You must have used a different mallet, or you hit it harder, or it was a different angle. But the stonecutter knows that it was the 99 blows that came before that made that 100th one work. And in the same way, so much of what we do as entrepreneurs or in the sales business is you have to keep doing things consistently over and over and over again. Use that discipline to keep going. When you know you're doing things that are fundamentally correct, keep doing them. Eventually the rock will split in half. And so I think you have to have that mindset.
I love that. I've heard an analogy like that before where they were chipping away and then gold was just like right there on the other side. So that's such a good takeaway to have and a mindset to have, that you just got to keep going for sure. So you have a lot of plaques behind you. I can't help but notice there. Is there any favorite moment that you might have out of
No,
all of
I'll
it?
tell you, I'm in my home office at home, so I have a place where I put all the plaques. But I've been very, very lucky. Very lucky that I found a career that I got into completely by accident. That is not only a career for me, but it's a hobby. I sold my company. It was a great result. Lots of things to be proud of. We went from just two of us sitting in an office to 26 years and 46 days later. We had 250 people. And the CoStar Group, which tracks information in the real estate industry, started tracking investment sales in New York City in 2001. And from 2001 to 2014, the number two company in New York City had sold about 1,300 properties. Massey Knakal sold over 4,000 during that time. So we lapped the field by more than three times. I'm very proud of that. We started the business with pretty much nothing and sold it for $100 million. I'm pretty proud of that. But the thing I'm the most proud of, and more so than the plaques and everything else, is that today in the investment sales business in New York City, it is permeated with people that we taught the business to, and I think that is a testament to the fact that Paul Massey and I ran the business with a servant leadership mentality, wanting to train our people, support our people, build their self-esteem, make them believe they could do better than they thought they could do. And that has really very, very tangibly and profoundly changed the lives of many people we worked with. And today, in the New York City investment sales business, there are 31 companies or divisions of companies that are owned by or run by people that we taught the business to, and that is my proudest legacy, more than any of the plaques behind me. It's the way that we fundamentally change people's lives for the better, and that's something that drives me every day to do it for another group of folks that I'm working with at my new company now.
That's awesome. And I mean, that is something you really like develop, that serving mindset. Is there any like mentors or books that you've helped navigate and have that mindset?
Sure. Well, my mentor in the business, a guy named Steve Siegel, who's the chairman of global brokerage at CBRE, which is the largest brokerage company on the planet. Steve has always been a great friend, and I look up to him, admire him, respect him for everything that he's accomplished and the person that he is. With regard to books, I'm a huge, huge reader. There's so many great things, I think, in sales and business and entrepreneurship. We can learn so much from books written about persuasion and business and selling and influence and making friends and being likable. And I have a whole list of books that I think are absolutely great. If you go to bobknakal.com, which is Knakal, bobknakal.com, I have a suggested reading list and a synopsis of each of the books. And there's some really, really great stuff there that I think people really get a lot out of.
That's awesome. I'm going to be hopping on there right when this call's done. So what does you've already achieved so many levels of success, but if you could define success into a basic, maybe one or two sentence for our audience, what would that be for you?
I think success is finding a deep level of peace within yourself. That you've done. There's many different definitions of success. Some people say it's not having to do things you don't want to do. Some say it's having financial independence. Some say it's a variety of things. But I think if you have a deep sense of peace within you, that you did the right thing. Whether everybody would know you did the right thing or nobody would know, and you tried to help people, and you had an abundance mindset where it's not a zero-sum game where a win for you is a loss for me, but hey, you had a win, great for you, I'm going to go get my win. I think to the extent to which we reach that level of peace within ourselves, I think that's what success is all about.
That's great. And there's a lot of words you've mentioned that are very standout words, right? Like abundance and peace within yourself. Is there anything you practice maybe on a daily basis to maintain like that strong mindset of that servant mentality, abundant mentality, and things like that?
No, I think it's more a macro perspective of understanding what life balance is, and that work-life balance, that's different for everybody. We're all trying to balance our work life, our home life, our friends, our health, our faith, all of those things. And I think that right balance is very, very different for everyone. So I think, what has helped me over time is just trying to keep my life very simple. I have a wife and a 16-year-old daughter, and they're the loves of my life, and I try to spend as much time as I possibly can with them. But if I'm not with them, I'm selling buildings or in the gym working out or going to church. That's my life. Very simple, basic stuff, and that kind of keeps me centered.
Yeah, that's great. If you can talk to yourself from, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, what would one piece of advice be to your younger self?
Yeah, I think really to, number one, realize that, the real estate brokerage business and many sales businesses are very, very much pure meritocracies. You get out of it what you put into it. I started working with a broker coach about 12 years ago. Rod Santamassimo at the Massimo Group is my broker coach. I wish I had started working with a coach much earlier. I put together a marketing resource that I think is outstanding called the Knakal Map Room. I sell a lot of land in New York, and we have a map 24 feet long, 10 feet wide that is the culmination of 222 hours walking the streets of Manhattan during the pandemic to track all types of buildings. We follow that up with thousands of hours of research, but that has been such a highly effective marketing tool for me. I wish I had done that 30 years ago. But just to realize that, you really can create tremendous value in yourself if you're operating in a business that is relatively opaque, or realizing the value of proprietary information. If you have something others don't have, that creates big value. The value of specialization and being able to differentiate yourself from everybody else that's trying to do what you do. That differentiation often leads to a competitive advantage, and that's what we all want, is to have a competitive advantage in our various businesses. So a lot of this kind of stuff that has unfolded over the years. And I'll tell you, I think another thing you'll find at bobknakal.com is I have what I call my Knakal Nuggets, which are a culmination of lessons learned over the years. And I've learned so many lessons, mainly because I've made so many mistakes. We did, unfortunately, for the first 10 or 15 years of my career, I did many, many things by trial and error, and consequently made hundreds and hundreds of mistakes. Fortunately, I didn't make a lot of those mistakes twice, but a lot of these lessons learned are in my Knakal Nuggets. I have 100 of them now, and many of them, only a few of them pertain directly just to real estate. Many of them pertain to any sales business, and the majority of them pertain to life in general. So, happy to share those lessons with everybody.
That's awesome. Yeah, that definitely an awesome resource to go to Bob Knakal. This is an awesome opportunity. Thank you again. So what is next for you? Is there any, what's the next big thing?
Well, the next big thing is just continuing to do what I've been doing for 40 years. I've been fortunate enough. The last building I sold was building sale number 2,342. For the past several years, I've said my goal is to eventually get to 3,000. That may take me another 10 or 15 years, but I'm focused on just continuing to enjoy the business as much as I always have, training the people that I work with and helping them to achieve great successes in their lives. And lastly, and most importantly, help every one of my clients achieve their objectives and get the best outcomes that they possibly can. And so, again, very, very simple, basic stuff. But if I can continue to do those things and continue to keep having fun doing it, I don't see a reason to ever stop doing what I'm doing.
Awesome. You should write a book, Bob. You have a book out?
It's actually it's in process. We'll be coming out with the book in a few months. But I've written a book called Selling Buildings, and look for it sometime middle of the year.
Perfect. I'll need a signed copy for sure. I'm excited
It'll be
for
my
that.
pleasure.
So where can people connect and find Bob?
Okay, well, you can get me, you can email me at bkrea.com. I'm on all the social media platforms, so you can follow me, Bob Knakal, and bobknakal.com. Great resource to see. I have 40 years of information and data and newsletters and articles and all kinds of stuff on there, but always happy to chat with people. And you can also call me. My cell number is 917-509-9501. I'm always on it.
And you even personally respond to emails.
I
wasn't
do.
even an assistant. It was great. I love that.
I do.
Thank you so much. Again, it's been a pleasure to have you on Simple Chat. Can't wait to share this episode with our audience. Appreciate you.
Yeah, Janine, thanks so much for having me on. I wish everybody the best of luck.
Thank you.